Greetings all, this is Precious, the new Jamaican, and welcome to my channel. I wanted to come on and clarify some things from my last video. I said in that video that you may have to modify or change some documents that you're going to receive from your shipper and from your Jamaica agent. And that is actually sound complicated, but it's a very simple thing to do, and that is true. But I thought it would be easier and more clear if I showed you what I was talking about. But before I do that, let me remind you of what I said. You're going to complete this packing list. Now, when our container was finally ingated and got on the rail, they weigh the container. So what the shipper then did was sent me an email saying, hey, the full amount of what you said your container was, is different from what it was ingated as. What we did, we guesstimated way more than what it actually weighed. And so she was like, just adjust this. That's actually easy to do. You just adjust it where you know, so that it matches exactly what the container actually weighed. So you're going to adjust your weights in kilograms so that it matches exactly what the container ingated at, weighed at. But one of the interesting things is when we sent her a copy of our packing list that lists everything with the weights and all that. The entitlement list doesn't ask for the weight, but they do ask for the value of things, just as the packing list did. But they did not match. Well, we ended up, she sent us an email saying, hey, your packing list, the value, your total value doesn't match the total value of the entitlement list. We're like, well, of course it doesn't, because the entitlement list didn't make any room for, say, clothes, or there are some other things that it didn't even ask for that we have indeed shipped and that we are entitled to bring, or whatever. Are they going to check this line by line? And her response was, of course, this was via email. And then it dawned on me why she didn't say anything. I think she can't. She's not allowed to give us direction in like that. It's like going to a courthouse. If you ever go to a courthouse and you're new to certain things, and they give you some information or forms to complete, and you ask them, how do you complete this? They'll tell you, I'm not allowed to give you legal advice. She don't want it in writing that she's telling us what to do. So basically, figure it out. That is when you would take your packing list and adjust where you can. Like, whatever you value your clothes at, adjust that. Now, things that you cannot adjust is something you may have a receipt for. Like, say if you bought a brand new refrigerator, you're going to have a receipt for that. You don't want to change on the packing list or the entitlement list this receipt, the amount of it, when you have a receipt that says it costs this much. So you have room on your packing list and on your entitlement list to make adjustments so that they match identical. So it sounds complicated. It really isn't. Changing the weight of the things on your packing list to match the weight of your container may sound difficult. It isn't. You'll see it when you get to this point. It really is not that difficult to do. So we had to do that. We had to change the weight as necessary on the packing list so that it can match what the container actually weighed. We had to change things on our packing list and on the entitlement list so the value of our items could match identical. So first, what I wanted to do was show you the documents that I am speaking of. I'm going to first show you the document that you will receive from your shipper. Now, this is just what we received. I'm assuming that they're all very similar, if not the exact same thing. So this is, I'm going to go to I've saved it here. And it's called this document here, and it's just a packing list. And as I said before, it is an Excel spreadsheet, and that way it gives you the opportunity to add more items to the list as needed. As you can see, it's called packing list. This column here, this section here, the shipper's name and whatever reference number, they're going to assign it to you, and then you're going to put your passport number there. The first column is going to be the number of bulks. That'll make sense a little later. One TV, two televisions, a nest of tables, so forth and so on. The description of your goods, the weight of those goods. Remember, I said that has to be given to you in kilograms. Volumes you do not have to worry about. I'm not sure why they have it there if they don't need it, but such is the case. And then the value that you assess that to each item. I am not sure what this HTS code, it must be some shipper thing. So that came that way. Anytime I added a new row, I just added that number in that column as well, because apparently they need it. Then you're going to have your total on kilograms. Remember, you're skipping this middle column there, and then your total value. You're going to have here where you're going to put in your address of origin, and then your destination address, and then you're going to sign it. So this is what we received from the shipper, blank like that, and then we were told to complete it as necessary. So for the sake of this video, and for simplicity's sake, I created that same thing, and just added some things as if this was a 4 container. So I put a break front. Now I put new here on a couple of items, and that you wouldn't put new on this. I did that for a specific reason. Okay, so just to go through this real fast, I have no idea what a break front weighs or what any of these things weigh. No one's expected you to know that. So all I did was Googled conversion calculator, and I guessed what it would be, or what I think it would be in pounds, and then it gave me the kilogram weight for that, and so I put that in. And then I'm just saying for this video that this brake front costs $200. I'm saying new for the brake front here, and for the refrigerator, the brake front here, and for the refrigerator here, because I wanted to show on here that you're going to have some things that you will have receipts for, and anything that you have a receipt for, you're going to keep that receipt. And I also want to clarify that if you have to adjust any of your value, you cannot adjust the value on something that you have a receipt for. So if you bought something for $200, you don't want to then say, okay, but it's worth $250 or it's worth $150. You're going to have a receipt that says $200, so you're going to show it as that. And then, again, just for simplicity's sake, I'm saying that all of these little items on this packing list fills your container. And you can see that I got a chair here that accompanies the desk, and I'm saying it weighs 10 kilograms. I don't know if that's true. I'm saying that it's $50, so forth and so on. You got a chest of drawers here for $1,500, a coffee table for $200, a desk for $200, a dresser for $250. Desk and dresser for $250 each. Household tools, you're saying you have a bulk, not just one tool, but a bulk of household tools, and I'm saying that they're weigh 60 kilograms and that they're worth $1,000. Your king size bed, 40 kilograms, $1,500. Couch, 50 and 2000, and you can see where I came up with. So I'm saying that the total weight of this container is 1250, and the total value that I'm assessing this at is $15,000. So that is what I then was sent to my shipper. After they receive that, your container is received either at the rail or at the place where it's going to be put on a vessel. That container is going to be weighed. And whatever the weight is likely not going to be what you put down on your packing list. So what you would then do, your shipper is then going to reach out to you and say, hey, you said that you're on your packing list that your container weighs 1250, but in actuality it weighs whatever. Now in our case, I don't remember what we said it weighed. We overthought it, and it came in weighing a lot less than what we said. So she said adjust that. So what I did at that point was adjusted it. So on these ones that I have highlighted, I said, okay, whatever I had it at before, I'm saying it now weighs 80. This chest of drawers, I'm saying it now weighs 91. The coffee table and the desk, I'm saying 25. The couch, 34 kilograms, and the refrigerator, 240. So that it can come to exactly what she says. I'm saying that the shipper told me that it wasn't 1250 or 1240, but that it was actually came in at 1,000. So now it comes in at 1,000, and that's all they want. So you would then send this off to them, and they are fine with it at that point. Everything else, at least for now, remain the same. The value of these things remain the same. The only thing that you would change is the weight of your items. You will fix it so that it comes in at the exact weight that the shipper told you that it came in as. That's what I mean by that. It's really not complicated. No one's expecting you to know how much a refrigerator weighs. No one's expecting you to know how much your clothes weigh. You wouldn't know that. So you're just guessing at this point. They're going to give you the exact weight of the container in total, and then you're going to adjust your packing list, the weight of your items, so that it will fit exactly, I'm sorry about the traffic, so that it will fit exactly what the container actually weighs. And you can see that is a simple thing to do. So that's it for that. Now, as time goes on, you gave your shipper the updated packing list. You're going to at some point be dealing with your Jamaica agent, and they're going to be sending you different documents that they're going to need you to either sign and or complete and sign. And one of the things that you're going to have to complete is the entitlement list. Now, you will have received this entitlement list from customs. That's what comes through anyway. When you get your returning resident status, they're going to send you an entitlement list, but it's going to be attached to your returning resident status, stamped and all that jazz, which you're going to have to forward to your agent before they get anything started with you. So I showed you in another video how you go about getting returning resident status, so go back and take a look at that video. So what they're going to do, your agent here, they're going to then send you that same entitlement list that is available through Jamaica Customs. And I want to first show you a blank copy. Now, it normally is not a Word document. Well, it is not a Word document. It's a PDF. If you have Adobe Pro, you can complete this on the system, on the computer, or you can try and convert it as I did to a Word document and complete it, and then fill it out. It's a 2-page document, and you're going to put your name and sign it and date it and send that on back to your agent. But for the sake of this video, I put it in a Word document so that you can see kind of what I did. Now, here's just a list of all of the things you can see that you are entitled to bring. You can bring an air conditioning unit. You can bring a barbecue grill. And this is also, I wanted to show you real fast what I meant about it being sort of outdated and things not making a whole heck of a lot of sense. Lamps of dressers, I guess that means lamps that you put on a dresser, but I'm not 100% sure, because then they have lamps for bedside table. Who knows what all of this means? But at any rate, I wanted to show you, like right here, they have typewriter on stand. So it's really dated, and nobody has a typewriter anymore, but so forth and so on. I just wanted you to see that the first column has the description of the items that you are entitled to bring, the eligible quantity that you are entitled to bring, and then the quantity shipped is what you're going to complete. And if you brought in 2 air conditioning units, then you're going to put that down, but you're only entitled to bring 1. And then you're going to put down in the loss column here the value of those items. Again, the value, what they are actually worth. Again, you can see everything. It's really, really, really simple. Now, what you don't see, here's something odd too, a percolator. We have percolator on here. But I want to say that they also, can't spell, they also have a coffee maker. So right here, so isn't a percolator a coffee maker? I don't know. This form is a little dated, so I'm not sure how well they follow this. But what I do want you to make note of is that all of the things that are listed on here, you don't see anything for, say, your clothes or your shoes or your jewelry, or so anything like that. And as you can see on our packing list, we actually have, open that back up for you, that we have some clothes and shoes and some jewelry. But the entitlement list does not even mention that. And this is why we had to end up changing our entitlement list, because the agent asked for a copy of that packing list as well. They're going to need that. And when they asked for this completed entitlement list. So we completed the entitlement list. It's my first little draft of the entitlement list. And you can see, just for the sake of this video, I'm saying that the only things that we shipped on the entitlement list is what is highlighted here in yellow. And I have the cost of it. Since on my packing list I said my break front is $200, it has to say $200 on the entitlement list. That's the value of it. Whatever I said that something is valued at on my packing list, on my entitlement list, it should have the exact same value. But what ends up happening is, since there's no room on this entitlement list for clothes or shoes or jewelry or other things that you would normally bring, my total in US dollars for on my entitlement list differs from my total on my packing list. My agent then reached out to us and said, the cost or the value on your packing list does not match the value on your entitlement list. You can see this is the packing list, and it is $15,000. But of course, it has items on my packing list which I'm entitled to bring that is not even allotted for on the, we have so many flyers on here, on the entitlement list. This is the blank one, so I'm going to close that one up. So, one second. So it's a little cumbersome doing it this way, but I really, really wanted you to see what I was talking about. I'm sorry about this. Let me just open that back up. So yeah, so again, $9,500 on my entitlement list, because it doesn't allow for certain things that I am indeed entitled to bring. So she basically said, adjust that, fix that. When we then asked her, are they going to be going line by line on this entitlement list? She didn't answer us. So that's when I realized that she's really not allowed to answer us. So I went ahead, closed this out, and I redid my entitlement list. And at this point, I made some adjustments where I could not change the brake front or the refrigerator. Here's the refrigerator. Because I said on my packing list that those are brand new. Now, you wouldn't normally put it on your packing list if they're brand new, but I'm thinking about the fact that you're going to have receipts for certain things, and you're going to be required to bring those receipts with you. So since my brake front and my refrigerator are new, on my adjusted packing list, those prices remain the same. What I did do some adjustment for was the king size bed. I decided, as you see here in blue, that the king size bed, I think I originally said that the king size bed was, where's my king size bed? I think, yeah, I said it was $1,500. So I adjusted it and said, okay, it's $1,000. It's worth $1,000. What else did I do? My couch here. I originally said my couch was worth $2,000. I adjusted it, saying my couch is not now worth, but I'm just saying that it's $1,500. You are entitled on your you're entitled when you're coming to Jamaica to bring a whatnot. You see this line here in blue. You're entitled to bring one whatnot. So I decided that my one whatnot is going to be, go back to my packing list, my jewelry, $1,500. So my whatnot is $1,500. I adjusted my king size bed to $1,000. I adjusted my couch to $1,500. That then put my total for $11,000. So what I had to do at that point, this still says $15,000 on this old packing list. I then had to resend the shipper a new packing list that adjusts for the same thing. So you see here on this new packing list, it still says 1,000 kilograms, because the agent here doesn't care about the weight of things. She only cares, I'm saying she because we were dealing with the woman. Your agent here only cares about what the value of these things are, because they're going to be clearing these things for you. And so I adjusted my king size bed, you see in blue, to $1,000. I adjusted the couch to $1,500. The clothes I also adjusted to $1,000 because I originally had the clothes, I think, saying that they were $4,000. And to clarify that, to make sure that's what I did, let me go back to my other draft here, and I hope this is making some bit of a sense. Yes, I said that my clothes and shoes were worth $4,000 and that I had 4 boxes of that. So again, I'm just saying that that's what they're worth. So I adjusted the clothes and shoes. I adjusted the king size bed, the couch, clothes and shoes, and the jewelry. There still is no place on the entitlement list for your clothes and shoes, but I used the whatnot option for my jewelry and just adjusted the king size bed, as I said, on the couch. That then put my total at $11,000 on my entitlement list, and my total on my new and final packing list of $11,000. And that way it matches. The packing list for your weight has to match exactly what your container weighed in. The packing list and the entitlement list must match identical as what you're saying the value of your items are. And that is what I was trying to say. And that is, as you can see, it is simple thing to do. You just make adjustments where they are needed, and then everything will be clear and cool. Once we sent off the adjusted packing list and entitlement list, she was like, cool, we're ready to go. Your shipment is supposedly coming in on this day. We'll let you know what else we need from that point. I hope that helps. Please give me any comments down below if you're still confused by this. I would try and explain it a little further, but I'm trusting that that's going to be somewhat clearer to you, and that you will be able to do this thing, and as need be, make any changes and adjustments as you need. So I hope that is clear. Please let me know if it is not. I would try again to explain it a little further for you. But if you have any questions for your shipper and your agent, they will answer them freely. Again, every shipment is so different, that and is so unique to each individual, that your agents will, and your shipper will work with you as much as they possibly can. But I just wanted to share that information with you, and hope that it is a little bit clearer to you, because I do know I have had a couple of people tell me, wow, I'm really confused now. It really is not anything to be confused about or worried about. Your shipper and your agents are there to work with you, and they will hold your hand as much as you need your hand held. So again, I'm here for you as well. I'm going through this process, and I know it can be complicated, and it can seem even more complicated in some instances than it really is. So ask me any questions below. I would do my best to answer them. Now, as far as these adjustments go, there is no way to avoid having to change or adjust the weight of your container for the shipper, as the likelihood that you would guess the exact weight of your container is slim to nil. It's just not possible. However, you can avoid having to adjust the value of your items on the entitlement list and the packing list by just being prepared. We did not know that the difference in the value of our items on these lists would be an issue, but you now know. So to that end, I will put a link to the entitlement list in the description below. Download the link, which is a PDF, and save it for the future. When you get to this point in your shipment process, complete it and make sure that the value of your items on both the packing and entitlement list are identical. Now, I guess there is a chance that Jamaica will update the entitlement list before you get to this point, so be sure to compare what I have attached to what you receive from your agent. But regardless as to whether the entitlement list is updated in the future or not, you now know that the values must match, and you can avoid being caught like we were. Well, that is all I have for you today on the clarification of your shipper and agent forms. I trust this information was informative. I trust it was helpful to you without being too overwhelming. If you have not done so, please go back and give my other videos a watch, a like, a comment, and share them as well. Signing off for now. Love, joy, and health to you until we meet again. Stay conscious and stay connected. Peace.